This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. It is always very much appreciated. I hope you are all doing well. What we've got coming up for you today is we're going to go to Classic Watch 26. Because, believe it or not, it is actually a classic week this week. This Saturday is the upcoming Caulfield Guineas, the first classic of the Australian 3-year-old season. So it is time now, really. We'll have two websites running at the moment. Classic Watch 25, because there's still a couple of classics running in Europe and Japan. And Classic Watch 26 will be taking care of all the Southern Hemisphere stuff. This video will be on my own personal YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out the Patreon as well. I think it's called Newman Racing over at Patreon. There is also plenty of racing opportunities there for you as well as opportunities to do the right thing. You know, if I've helped you in any way, say thank you. You know, I tend to help people a lot more that do that. But without further ado, before we take a look at today's horse in question, where can Classic Watch 26 be found? Well, the website can be found at classicwatch26.great/site.net. At the moment, it's just a placeholder, really, with links to other sites in use. But I should imagine, hopefully, nearer to the Caulfield Guineas that we get this coming weekend, this site may go through a little bit of a renovation. It might have a Roll of Honour on it, and it might have some Australian trained horses on it, depending on what runs, on what is due to run on at the weekend. Obviously, we had a Classic Watch 26 possible B-whacked, absolutely hose up in the Golden Rose 3 weeks ago. So we're off to a fairly solid start. So yeah, classicwatch26.great/site.net is where people will be able to find these horses when the time is right. In the meantime, though, it will just link them to all the other sites. So even though they visit the site, they don't leave empty-handed. They leave with another 5 sites to go and look at horses to their heart's content. Right, I think it's about time now we can start looking at this horse. The horse in question is West of Swindon. An interesting horse. West of Swindon, trained by Kieran Marr out of his base in Newcastle, New South Wales. Horse is a bay colt, sired by Wootton Bassett out of a dam called Fife, who herself is out of Starcraft. People will see that the horse has only won 1 out of his 6 races, but he has been very highly tried. He was placed second another 3 times, and the time he did win was his most recent. So rather unlike a lot of the horses in this field, this horse is heading to the Guineas on the back of a victory, which is the least I would expect, really. I don't know, is that too much to ask? Now, the horse has won 1 out of 6 races and second another 3 times, earning 461,300 Australian dollars. People take a look at the form, they will see that the horse is nominated for Caulfield in this week's Caulfield Guineas, where he's currently 16.2 with the Australian bookmakers. People see if they see the result. This horse is already a Group 2 winner. This horse won the Group 2 Stakes over a mile at Moonee Valley on the 26th of September 2025. So yeah, this horse did break its maiden in a Group 2. If people go back and take a look at the form last year, they will see that this horse was quite highly tried. It made its debut in the Group 3 English Golden Gift and was beaten into second place just by North England. It then ran in the Silver Slipper Group 2 race, where the horse was second as well, beaten 2.5 lengths by B-Whacked, the Classic Watch 26 possible. And then it ran in the Golden Slipper, where the horse could only finish 13th. Out of 16 behind winner Mahuna. It's a shame that horse isn't really being aimed at any classics at this stage. And the third in that race, Tempted as well, is another one of mine. But I can't put them on the site until they look to running classics, unfortunately. And you'll see then the horse really flopped in that race. This year, the horse was fourth in his return, in a maiden plate. They did try and pick up a maiden with him. This is the sort of race that could expose the horse for what he is, really. Horse was beaten by a good one, though, Ruination. I think that was unlucky not to win at the weekend, and that looks like he might take his chance in this race. But I'll never bring you horses on the back of a defeat. It's just the way it is. He then ran in the Exford Plate, where the horse finished second behind Vinrock, who is looking again like reopposing in this race, before finally managing to get off the mark with a win in the Group 2 Stut Stakes recently on the 26th of September 2025. The horse is owned by Qatar Racing and is their Australian partners. Qatar Bloodstock Limited, manager David Redford, owned also by ARE Investments, R&C Lee Racing Property, GGL Taylor, KRB Taylor. They have so many owners in Australia for some reason, and they insist on naming every single one as well, which means that the owners section on my website is probably as long as anything it will ever be with Australian horses. But yeah, this horse is looking like it's going to take his chance. So we better take a look at it. West of Swindon, people will see there, if they go to the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database, they will see that the horse is up to date on there, 461,300 Australian dollars, 1 win and 3 places, 4 times out of 6 in the first 2. It's just a shame that the horse hasn't managed to get his head in front on more times, isn't it, really, at the moment? But you never know, he could be a classic winner this time next week. What we're going to do with this horse is we're going to take a look quite a way back in this pedigree, because this horse is very historically sound. I will say that it's been well beaten by one of mine already, though, B-Wax, this year on more than one occasion. Maybe more than one, maybe once, maybe more than one. But if B-Wax doesn't run, we have to have something on there, don't we? So this will be a good backup, I think, just in case B-Wax does not run. Why he wouldn't run, it is what it is. West of Swindon. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a few dams on this horse. I'm going to try and pick up any well-bred horse that I did find along the way, and then we're going to watch the horse win the Stut Stakes at Moonee Valley on his most recent start, and then we are going to get on with our lives. So let's get started, shall we? We're going to take a look now, firstly, at the dam of the horse, Fife. Fife is a mare born in 2012, sired by Starcraft, out of Dane Bellatar, a horse herself, who was sired by Danewin. People will say that there's no record of Fife having raced, so we will assume that the mare born in 2012, the first dam of West of Swindon, was actually unraced. She's actually a reasonably bred horse, though. I managed to find 3 decent pattern race horses that were related to her. Faulkner is the first one we need to take a look at, a gelding, born in 2007, sired by Reset, also out of Dane Bellatar. So this is a half-brother to our horse, a gelding. Faulkner raced 28 times in his career, 11 wins, 6 seconds and 3 thirds. So 20 of 28 starts in the first 3, and the horse managed to earn 3,731,751 Australian dollars. This gelding won some races. It won the Caulfield Cup of 2013, and it also won the Caulfield Stakes of 2014. The horse also was a triple Group 1 winner, having won the Maccabee Diva Stakes at Flemington as well. And the horse also managed to win the VRCTab.com race, Group 3 race. Other bookmakers are available. Horse was also second in another 4 Group 1 races, second in the Emirates Stakes, the Maccabee Diva Stakes, the Cox Plate and the Underwood Stakes, and was third in another 2 Group 3 races, the William Reid Stakes and the Turnbull Stakes. So yeah, dual Group 1 winner, this horse, Faulkner. I mean, if West of Swindon can have that sort of career, I think the site will have done well to identify the horse. So there's only won 1 race so far at this stage. Another one we need to take a look at is another gelding called Tambi, a horse born in 2006, sired by Galileo, out of Dane Bellatar. So this one again, another half-brother to our horse, half to the mare of our horse, sorry. Tamby raced 48 times in his career, 10 wins, 5 seconds and 5 thirds. So 20 times out of 48, this horse was in the first 3. And another racing millionaire out in Australia. The horse earns $1,096,695 Australian dollars in his career. Tamby, dual Group 2 winner, managed to win the Group 2 Sandown Classic and the Group 2 Adelaide Cup in his career in 2012 and 2015. It was a Group 1 place. The horse was placed in the 2013 Australian Cup at Flemington, as well as placed as well in the Herbert Power Stakes of 2011. But yeah, Group 1 placed, dual Group 2 winner. Tamby, again though, gelded. The third one we need to take a look at is Viking Star. A gelding born in 2009, sired by Red Ransom, out of Dane Bellatar as well. So another half-brother to our horse. Viking Star raced 7 times in his career, 3 wins, a second and a third. So 5 of 7 starts in the first 3, earnings of 107,400 Australian dollars. Viking Star was third in the Group 3 Mitchelton Wines Vars at Moonee Valley in 2012. That was his only bit of pattern race form in his life. But the dam did well, didn't she? She produced 3 pattern race horses. So let's take a look at her now. Dane Beltar, the second dam of our horse, West of Swindon. Dane Beltar was born in the year 2000 and she was sired by Dane Wynn out of Amirat Bloody, who herself was sired by Kenmare. Dane Beltar raced 31 times in her career, 4 wins, 5 seconds and 5 thirds. 14 of 31 starts in the first 3, and she managed to earn 346,320 Australian dollars on the track, and she was herself a Group 3 winner. She managed to win the Lakewood Stud Stakes in Australia. Don't know what year that was, but yeah, so we've got a Group 3 winning second dam who has bred Group 1 winners as the second dam of our horse, West of Swindon. Well, another few we need to take a look at now is we can take a look at the third dam of our horse, Amirat Bloody. Amirat Bloody was born in the year 1990, sired by Kenmare, out of a dam called Tasha Clips. People will see if they look at the third dam of Amirat Bloody as well on the Pedigree online thoroughbred database. They will see as well, rather like the first dam, there is no record of the horse having raced. I did manage to find a couple of pattern race horses though, related out with Tasha Clips in the Pedigree as well. Before we take a look at Tasha Clips, Rock and Gold was one of them, a gelding, born in 2010, sired by Rock of Gibraltar, out of Goldberg. People will see that Tasha Clips is the second dam of this horse. Rock and Gold raced 53 times in his career, 9 wins, 10 seconds and 9 thirds. 28 times out of 53 in the first 3, and the horse managed to earn 596,200 Australian dollars in his career so far, including 2 listed victories. Rock and Gold won the 2018 Kensington Stakes at Flemington, and the horse also won the listed Barton Stakes at Caulfield in 2019. So he managed to pick up 2 listed races among those 53 races in his career. So yeah, a pattern race horse there, Rock and Gold. Another one we need to take a look at is Antidotes. Antidotes is another gelding born in 2003, sired by Golden Snake out of Goldberg. So this one is half sister to the other one we just looked at. Tasha Clips, as we know, the second dam. Antidotes, there's no record of any race wins, but we do know that the horse earned 174,990 Australian dollars. And if people click here, they will see that the horse won the QTC Brisbane Plate. Don't know if that was a listed race, but the horse was second in the Group 2 Stan Fox Stakes and third in the Group 3 Carbine Club Stakes as well in his career. So definitely a couple of group-placed efforts there for Antidotes in his racing career. Just a shame that the person that added that information didn't do a better job on the site. The next one we're going to take a look at is Limerick. Limerick, South African horse. People will see that Taj Eclipse is also the second dam of this one, out of a full sister. It's Kenmare. This horse is also out of Kenmare, as was Amirat Bloody, I think. We did have another one out of Kenmare anyway. Yeah, it was Amirat Bloody out of Kenmare as well. So this one is very closely related to one of our dams, a South African horse born in 1999, sired by Fort Wood out of Kenmare Bell. People see Taj Eclipse, also the second dam of this horse. Limerick raced 11 times in her career, 1 win, 4 seconds and a third. 6 out of 11 starts in the first 3. This has got similar profiles to ours, hasn't it, really? Earnings of $114,570. Not dollars there, but South Africans use the rand. So we'll ignore that. We'll look at the form of the horse, though. Limerick managed to win the listed LA France Handicap held at Newmarket in South Africa. So the horse is a listed winner. The horse was also third in the Group 2 South African Oaks of 2003 at Turffontein. The horse was also second in 3 more South African listed races, the Jasmine Stakes, the Renowned Stakes, and the Sun Chariot Handicap. I presume that's meant to be in 2003. So the horse had a decent enough career. Again, rather like ours, though, West of Swindon didn't really get his head in front as often as people would have liked. Now we're going to get into the historical strength of our horse, I think, because we're going to look at the 4th dam of the horse, Taj Eclipse. Taj Eclipse, a mare born in 1980, sired by Taj Rossi out of Glad One. A British bred horse who was sired by Milesian. Taj Eclipse raced 5 times according to this site, 3 wins and 2 seconds. So again, we'll gloss over that. They're saying the horse was never out of the first 2 in its career, but it did race a long time ago, and the horse did earn $128,300 Australian dollars. But this, believe it or not, is a classic winner. Taj Eclipse won the 1983 VRC Oaks, and the horse also won a good trial for the classics, apparently in Australia, that they told me last week, and the commentary of the race when I watched it. The Edward Manifold Stakes, a good source of Guineas and Oaks winners over the years. Taj Eclipse managed to win that race as well in 1983. She was also second in the 1983 Wakefield Stakes and the 1983 Heath Stakes, although I'm unsure what grade that race was in. So I suppose she could have won first time out and gone for them races and then retired. She was pensioned in March the 9th, 2005 from breeding. But as we've already seen, this classic winning mare has done her bit for this line. She's tried her best. To me, I think then the line goes from strength to strength. That's what I mean about this horse. This horse is a historically sound horse. I'm going to show you that now. Glad One is the 5th dam of our horse, I think. Yes, Glad One, the 5th dam of our horse, born in 1965. Sired by Milesian out of Gladness. Very good mare, Gladness. So good, they named a race after her in Ireland. So I mean, this horse is historically sound. Glad One, according to this, raced 9 times in her career, 1 win and 1 second. Nothing regarding prize money or finishing 3rd. But it does tell us that she was 3rd in 2 classics. So what is that showing us? That goes to show this site really is unreliable the further back you go. You see there that the horse was 2nd in 3 classics, in 3rd place, in 3 classics in 1968. She was placed in the English Oaks. She was also placed in the Irish 1,000 Guineas. And she was 3rd in the Irish Oaks Stakes, despite this site trying to tell people who have the nails to click on that the horse was never 3rd. It says what it is, this site. A good site for looking at the pedigrees, So yeah, Glad One, triple classic placed 5th dam of our horse. And then obviously we've got the classic winning 5th dam. And then we've got Gladness as the 6th dam. Gladness, a horse born in 1953. Sired by Sayajirao, I'm going to pronounce that as, out of a dam called Bright Lady, who was born before World War II started in 1938, sired by April the 5th. Gladness raced 12 times in her career, managing to win 8 of them. Don't know how many times she was placed or second. I'd rather than just put question marks if they weren't sure. Career earnings of 79,122 Australian dollars in her career. Gladness again. classic winners. I think she was. No, she wasn't. She needed further. She won the Irish Champion Stakes of 1957. She also won the Ascot Gold Cup in 1958. And she also won the Goodwood Cup and the Ebor Handicap the same year. And in 1959, the horse was second in the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes. So very good horse. Gladness won the Ascot Gold Cup, went away with the Ebor, carrying top weight. The mare burst clear 2 furlongs out and won easing up by 6 lengths from Woodside Terrace, who received £29. Oh, Gladness, very good horse, it's fair to say, and she doubles up here as the 6th dam of our horse, West of Swindon. So obviously there wasn't as much as we would have liked in the first 3 or 4 dams, but we have got a top high ceiling with a Group 1 winner. And we've got classic horses sprinkled throughout it, really, it's fair to say. I think this is an interesting horse, definitely. I'm going to show you 3 more horses now before we take a look at where we stand on the... Well, I forgot to tell you that this horse, actually, West of Swindon, is actually, if people look at, that's the information they need. West of Swindon is dam line 7A on the historical dam line. I really should have told you that at the beginning of the video, my mistake. But yeah, 7A. 3 more horses I found that were quite interesting in the back of the pedigree. Merry Mate was an interesting one that I found. There's all the dams I was looking at earlier to try and find some more. Merry Mate, a mare born in 1963, sired by Ballymoss out of Gladness. So this one very closely related to our horses. Ballymoss also the sire. I think did we not have Ballymoss in there earlier? I think we might have done, but I'm not sure now, thinking about it. Merry Mate, though, very good horse. Again, according to this horse, only 3 starts in her career. She managed to win one of them and earned $53,937 American dollars. She did win 1 race at 3-year-old, and that was the Irish Oaks of 1966. Merry Mate actually won a classic the year England won the Gold Cup, won the World Cup in football, such as the historical soundness of this horse. This horse has done it over a period of years, this dam line, this section, but just not to the extent which makes West Swindon stand out. Another one, but yeah, Irish Oaks winner again there of 1966. Upend is another one I found. Upend, a mare born in 1985, sired by Main Reef, not Mill Reef, Main Reef, out of a dam called Gay Charlotte. And people will see that Merry Mate is actually the 2nd dam of this horse, and Gladness the 3rd dam of the horse. Upend raced 7 times in his career. 3 wins, 2 seconds and a 3rd. Earnings of 39,322 UK pounds in her career. Upend, very good horse. Winner of the Group 3 Simon Stakes of 1988. And the horse was also placed 2nd in the Princess Royal Stakes, Group 3 race. And it says there she was a black type producer. So we're going to see a bit of live horse searching here. Which one of them would it be? So I know which one it is because I looked at the horse last night. I'm going to take a look now. Now this horse, Musicana. All these should have been open in the tabs before I started the video, really. Musicana, a mare born in 2001, sired by Cape Cross out of Upend. You'll see there, Merry Mate, 3rd dam. Gladness, the 4th dam. Musicana raced 11 times in her career, 4 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds. Earning 8 out of 11 starts in the first 3, and the horse earned 105,778 UK pounds in her career. Musicana won the Atalanta Stakes. She was also placed in the Group 1 Falmouth Stakes at some point in her career, as well as finishing 3rd in what was then the Group 3 Sun Chariot Stakes. That race has shut up the graves, hasn't it? And she was also 2nd in the Group 3 Princess Elizabeth Stakes, held at Epsom around the time of the Derby. So yeah, very good horse, Musicana, pattern race winner, and she is on the same line as our horse from Gladness, who is the 4th dam of the horse. The last horse we're going to take a look at is Royal Gate. Royal Gate, a gelding born in 1983, sired by Gunner B out of Highgate. people will see that Gladness, Merry Mate and Gay Charlotte are also in the pedigree of Royal Gate. You know, the 4th dam, 3rd dam and 2nd dam. Royal Gate raced 22 times in his career, winning 15 times, finishing second 5 times. 20 out of 22 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of £289,819 UK pounds in his career. The horse raced in Spain, France and Great Britain throughout his career. Royal Gate was the champion older stayer in France in 1987, champion older stayer in Europe in 1988. 12 wins at 3-5 in France and in Spain, including Group 1 wins in the Prix de Cadran Group 1 race, and also a French St Leger victory, a classic winner. This horse, Royal Gate, after winning the Prix Royal Oak. The horse was second also in the Group 1 Prix Cadran. Dual purpose horse, really, also 3 wins over hurdles. The horse won the Smurfit Champion Hurdle Trophy Hurdle, listed race, and the horse also won the Narbol City Trial Hurdle, a listed race as well. So as well as being a champion stayer, dual Group 1 winner, the horse was also a dual listed winner over hurdles, Royal Gate. The horse also won the 1988 Ascot Gold Cup, ridden by Cash Asmussen, only to be disqualified for causing the fall of El Conquistador, 2 furlongs from home. The horse sadly collapsed and died from a heart attack after finishing 4th in the Bookmakers Hurdle at Leopardstown on the 30th of December 1992. Very good horse, Royal Gate, and he is actually quite closely related to our horse, West of Swindon. We've got to try and work out if it's a classic horse now, haven't we, really? Before we watch it win, we'll take a look at the historical dam line the horse is on, 7A. You'll see there that there is some decent horses on it. But your horses like Assessor, look, Jewel, French St Leger winner, you've got an Oaks winner there, Rafa. Of course, that is the very good line of Al Jazzy that's produced horses like Mishrif and Stallion. Invincible Spirit is also on this line. That's another good section of 7A that I have tried a few times. There you've got Glasness' section. Look, Ascot Gold Cup, and they've got Merry Mate, Royal Gate. A couple of Spanish Derby winners there that I chose not to include there. You'll see that's how Royal Gate did start off in Spain, related to a couple of Derby winners. There's also Overdose as well, the Hungarian horse sired by Starborough that won a few decent sprints that was going round. That is on this pedigree as well. There's the 4th dam of our horse, Taj Eclipse, on this section as well. Look, so there we are. We're West of Swindon. It's looking like we'll get a derby out of him if the horse proves good enough to go down that route, because it does look like he will stay, doesn't it? Related to these Guineas winners, Gladness, Oaks winners, Ascot Gold Cup winner, Gladness, sorry. The horse has got stamina in his pedigree. It's one of the reasons I've included it. Not only is it a historically sound horse, it's also a horse, if it was to get beat in the Guineas, might offer us a bit more up in trip. You know, so it could be an interesting one. Other sections on the horse you've got there, a couple of Oaks winners in Australia and New Zealand, one in the 20s, one in the 60s. You got the Sangster, the 2008 Derby winner in Victoria, 2011 Derby winner, sorry. You got Rockfell, British Guineas and Oaks winner, so good they named a race after her. You know, there's some interesting horses on this line. Inchmorin and Inchinor are also on this section. That is the ruling court line. Now, unfortunately, this lady died before ruling court suddenly won the Guineas. But yeah, you know, there's other hopes here. You know, it's a burgeoning classic line, really. I used to just be on the Al Jazzy section on this, but yeah, got ruling court section there. You've got the other section that I've just shown you, the Al Jazzy section. You've got our section. Further down, you've got horses like Derby winner Chris Kin as well, the Luso. So that means Warsun is on this line, Needle Gun. Tried a few. The Memas would be a 7A, you see. The Stallion Memas is a 7A. Which baffles me why he only sized sprinters. 2,000 Guineas winner back in 1945 there, Mistral. The Argentinians, as you would expect, would have their compulsory go with one horse there. Very interesting line this is, I think it's fair to say. 7A. And is West of Swindon a classic horse? Hard to say, really. It's only won once. Yeah, I would like it to have won more. It's looking like it could line up in the first Australian Classic of the year, the Coalfield Guineas. So I do think, considering the historical soundness of the horse, West of Swindon does deserve his video at this stage. I think it's fair to say. So what we're going to do now is we're going to close down a few tabs to save on CPU, and then we're going to give the browser 15 or 20 seconds just to catch up. So I'll waffle a little bit, and then the browser will catch up, all being well, and we can watch West of Swindon now win last time out in the Group 2 Stakes before we end the video, and we can see what we think, and we will do that now.
Prestige Orlais wanting to lunge at the front of the stalls. Settles again with an attendant racing in the start stakes. West of Swindon on the rails, jumped away moderately. Bing Eye out well. Vinrock away only fairly, second last in the early strides. So after 200 metres, pushing up is Romantic Encounter outside of West of Swindon, who's going to lead. Behind those horses then is Decanted outside of Prestige Orlais as they reach the 1300 metres. Bing Eye next outside of Hillier. Vinrock third last. High Vol second last outside of Ornos as they head to the back. 1,000 metres to go. West of Swindon the leader by a length. In second is Romantic Encounter, a length and a half. Decanted third up on the steel. Prestige Orlais fourth the fence. A length away to Bing Eye, followed by Hillier on the rails. Vinrock is third last, the odds-on favourite. Then Ornos and High Vol last. West of Swindon runs off the back at the 800 metres, controlling the start stakes by a length and a half. Romantic Encounter. Third is Decanted outside of Prestige Orlais as they're about to run by the school at the 650. They're starting to queue up. Bing Eye now four deep is coming into it. Hillier behind them. Vinrock had the back of Bing Eye. Ornos second last and High Vol is at the end. They're about to go again at the 400 metres and West of Swindon dialed it up and led by a length and a quarter. Romantic Encounter. Then Decanted Bing Eye. Vinrock still has a good 4 lengths to pick up around the corner. Whacking away Hillier and Prestige Orlais. West of Swindon around the corner. 200 metres to go. Led a length and a quarter. Romantic Encounter. Two further back Hillier. Vinrock's a mile back. West of Swindon. 50 metres to go from Romantic Encounter, who's trying hard, but West of Swindon wins a neck. Romantic Encounter. Third Hillier, fourth High Vol from Vinrock. They were followed by Ornos, and next to finish in the race was Bing Eye, Prestige Orlais and Decanted at the end. Controlled at Ben Melham, wins the race for the third time. West of Swindon for Kieran Maher at $4.80 and $1.50 has staved off Romantic Encounter. And they have dominated up near the front. Dan Stackhouse for Team Hayes almost pulling off an upset, but West of Swindon too strong. Race time.
I thought that was a fair performance. It's fair to say. I thought that was decent. You know, the horse, like the commentator said, he controlled the pace. Controlled the pace from the outset, really, didn't he, the jockey there? Very good ride. And at no point during the race did the horse, I think, look in any trouble over the mile. Could it get outpaced over a mile? It didn't there, did it? You know, but it was allowed to dictate its own terms in front. I don't know whether there's 18 runners in a race in the Coldfield Guineas, where there might be that many. Then I'm not sure whether he will be allowed such an easy lead in front as he was granted there at Mooney Valley. And obviously the track will be a bit more conventional. Mooney Valley, not one of my favourite tracks, such a short straight. Reminds me of a narrow Chester. Mooney Valley does, awful track really. But I think as a backup to BWACT, who is obviously my clear number one for this race, I think it is worth including West of Swindon. So West of Swindon will take his place in the list of Classic Watch 26 possibles this season, and hopefully the horse will run well. Right, I think we can leave this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody for taking the time to watch the video. As always, it is much appreciated. As this is the fourth Classic Watch 26 possible of the playlist so far, I only start showing playlists when they've got 5 or more horses in. So the next Classic Watch 26 possible will probably be the first to contain the Classic Watch 26 possible playlist. This video, I will include the Classic Watch 25 horses in this video. There's still a couple of classics upcoming, so there might be some value in looking at that for you. And I will also leave anybody an opportunity who has watched this video without subscribing to the channel up to this stage. I will leave you all an opportunity to subscribe to the channel as well. That way, you will not miss any more of my content moving forward. It doesn't benefit me at all. if you subscribe to the channel. This YouTube channel only exists so I can embed my own videos into my own website. So if you feel like subscribing to make sure you don't miss any more of my content, then feel your boots. Right, I think I can leave this video here now. Like I said, thank you very much for taking the time to watch it. Like I said, Australian Classic Weekend upcoming this weekend. It's also really the unofficial start of the Great British National Hunt season this weekend at Chepstow. There's always some interesting racing there, featuring the novice hurdle, the Persian War novices hurdle. It'll be interesting to see if any of my National Hunt horses have turned up in that. The National Hunt stuff is all over on Patreon, like I said earlier at the start of the video. So don't forget to check Newman Racing over on Patreon if National Hunt racing is more of your thing. There's anything really that I'm not looking to embed in my own websites really has now moved to Patreon. Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching the video. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you this horse. Will it make its mark in the upcoming Coalfield Guineas? If allowed to take its chance, well, time will tell. But for now, I will leave this video here. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week and look after yourselves and your loved ones. Goodbye.